Good morning, afternoon, night, everyone. Kaito here, and welcome back to another episode of Kaito Talks. And a little bit of an update, not a big one, but I was sick for a couple of days, mainly 2 days. Today's the third day, and I'm doing relatively all right. I'm doing fine, better than I was the last 2 days. So my scheduling for how I wanted to upload got mixed up a little bit. So I decided, you know what, instead of just fussing over what I couldn't do, because I'm out of time, I'll focus on what I can do and just upload what I can. It's not like I have a set schedule I gotta meet, right? All right, so in this episode of Kaito Talks, I'm gonna be reviewing, not really reviewing, but just talking about one of my favorite light novels that I have, called Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. And I know I have the books backwards, but it's because I was getting them off my bookshelf. So here we have I think I currently have up 10 volumes. And I've mentioned this before, but these volumes, I say it as a joke, but these volumes are Bible thick. They're not actually Bible thick, but they feel like it, because they're thicker than normal light novels, right? You can see here. Where did I have my ruler? Here it is. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 light novels stacked up, 4.5 inches. So that's the running joke that I always say, it's Bible thick. But and you can see here, this one's volume 10, this is volume 7, this is volume 3, and just volume 2, volume 1. Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so before I continue with this, I guess, review, I don't know what I call it, because technically it's not a review. It's just me talking about one of my favorite light novel series. So it's not a review, but highlight, I don't know, I'm just talking about it. But if you are watching this because you are a fan of Arifureta, but haven't read it yet, like let's say maybe you only read the manga, which I do highly recommend. Maybe you read the manga, or maybe you saw the anime, and you're like, the anime is not the best, but it's all right. Yeah, I like watching it. Season 1 was the pacing was all over the place because, and I talked about this before. This was season 1. So if you never read the light novel and have not read the manga is behind. Actually, the manga, I think, just recently, I don't know how recently, caught up to the anime of season 1. But for the light novel, 4.5 inches. This was season 1, 13 episodes of Arifureta. Season 2, I believe, was this. Season 2, I believe, was this. Probably this and half of this, about, more or less. So, but this was season 2. Better pacing. But yeah. Okay, so, anyways, let me get to what I wanted to talk about. 3 minutes in. Okay. If you're here because you watched the anime or the manga or the light novel, or not, I can't even talk. If you are here because you saw the anime or read the manga, I will give you a spoiler warning. I am going to be talking about a lot of spoilers. And what I mean by a lot of spoilers is I'm probably going to be talking about events that happen all the way up to volume 10. Because I'm just going to be talking about why I like it. Okay, so Arifureta isn't the first to do this, and I'm just noticing now that I mixed up the whole thing. Anyways, I can fix it later when I put it back on my bookshelf. Let's get some diversity in here. Arifureta is not the first light novel to do this. So it's not special in that case, but it's a harem anime. But that's not the thing I was talking about. That it's the first to do this. It's not that it's a harem anime. It's one reason I got into it is because the main character, I want to say Haruto, and I know it's not Haruto. I'm just thinking about another light novel series that I was recently reading, Hajime. The main character Hajime is not a person who was just gifted his powers. Like I always talked about with friends, I always talked about how I hate in harem animes or just animes in general where the main character gets his powers or gets strong just because he's the main character. Like if he wasn't the main character, he just wouldn't be there, right? So as if you even if you've seen the anime, you might know Hajime was. All right, let me get the background first. Again, spoiler warning. So this is your last warning. If you're continuing to watch this past this point, you're watching this at your own risk to potentially being spoiled. Okay, so background. Hajime's class, and I'm not gonna tell you like 1A or whatever stuff like that because I don't even know that. I don't even know if it was mentioned. But Hajime's class, his whole class was summoned, transported to another world, and I don't even remember the name of the world. That doesn't matter. All right. And they are told that they've been summoned as heroes to combat the Demon King and save them from their tyrannical rule, war, whatever. It doesn't really matter what it's for because this is about Hajime, not his class. So Hajime, I'm also gonna be talking about stuff that was left out left out of the novels or left out of the anime, not novels. Okay, so Hajime, he is not really excited, but he's like, oh, cool, we're gonna be superheroes or not superheroes, but we're gonna be heroes, right? Hajime, he's an otaku. And hold on, I can't even speak. He plays games, he watches anime, he watches Gundam and stuff like that. And I do mention Gundam for a specific reason, and I'll get to that in a bit. But he's your regular otaku. Hajime usually spends his time in school sleeping because he's up all night, either watching anime stuff like that. And you'd actually learn in volume 1 a bit about Hajime's parents. I forgot what his mom was, but his dad is like a game developer. So Hajime sometimes helps his dad develop video games, right? And I think it was that both of Hajime's parents, are also kind of like otakus because I remember in volume 1 there's I don't know if it was in the after, like towards the end, where it's just like giving some story about Hajime's parents. I do remember reading this. I just don't remember if it was in volume 1 and if it was towards the beginning or end. But Hajime's dad had actually given a note or like a letter to Hajime about telling him like if he ever finds himself transported into another world. It wasn't like he was given to it like the day before. I think he was like recollecting a memory where his dad just like give him a note, and when he read it, he was just like he thought it was stupid because like your parents gave you like what to do if you're transported to another world, and it's just stupid because like some of the stuff is accurate, some of the stuff is not. He said in the note it said befriend the quiet kid, he's gonna end up with godlike powers. Don't trust if the princess is too trustworthy or like too talkative and like trying to seduce you. Don't fall for her. She's part of like she's working for like the evil kingdom, and like more than likely when you're summoned to the other world you're going to be working for an evil kingdom, and you're going to lose your right hand, or your right hand's going to start throbbing, and it's going to be your your demon hand, and it's all this stuff like it's filled with awesome power and all this stuff, like really hardcore otaku. What's that one word that when you're super dark, edgelord, like super like edgelord stuff? And I remember Hajime was just like thinking about it. I think he had it on his phone because I think he was talking about how his phone died. He just remembers that message his dad gave him one time, and how he wishes he kind of like listened to his dad, like what he kind of wishes what that note said fully. Because he never thought he'll find himself in another world, and boom, here we are. So that's something they left out in the anime, which I thought was funny. A little bit of humor. But anyways, I rambled on a bit too much. So Hajime is the weakest. Or I don't know if he is the weakest, but he's one of the weakest students that got teleported. The strongest, the pretty boy, the popular boy in the class or in the school, he got the title of hero. Kayori here she's their healer. She got like the healer. These two are best friends since they were younger. And so was the hero and some other guy. I can't remember his name. Like the four of them were like together. But She's like their attacker. So it's like this: it's the hero, it's the healer, it's the attacker, and then the guy is like the tank. The other guy, he's a muscle guy. He's a tank. All right. So they go into a dungeon, and this freaking, I forget his name because I never try to remember, Hayame or something like that. I always remember his name like sounding like hyena, so I always call him hyena. But he touches this stone and they all get teleported. They go into a dungeon. Okay, again, Hajime is one of the weakest one. His stats had like 10 across the board, which is what people, just regulars in that world are born with. When they were told that other people that come into the other world, like it wouldn't be a surprise if their stats were in the hundreds, something like that. But anyways, okay, so then in the dungeon, hyena dude touches this thing and they all get teleported deeper into the dungeon where they fight a mini boss, I guess you could call it, a behemoth. And they're struggling to fight it. Hajime's over there trying to be cool, trying to help. And he's not trying to be cool. He's just trying to get out of there alive, really. Trying to help out people where he can, just pulling his own weight. So he's not just slacking around. And he's doing the best he can. And he distracts the behemoth long enough for everyone to escape the bridge that they're on to kind of go towards the exit where the hero, I forget his name. To me, it doesn't really matter because the hero doesn't matter. But like he goes back and tries to clear a path for everyone to run away, to go back up, right? To get back to safety. So what happens is everyone launches like a spell to attack the behemoth to kind of stall it so Hajime could get away. Well, if you've seen the anime, especially season 2, again, spoilers, hyena dude sends a fireball to Hajime and sends him down, basically kills him. Hajime falls down the pit and he falls deeper into the ravine, I guess you'd call it, or the dungeon. And Hajime wakes up and he doesn't even know what level he's on. The first thing Hajime sees when he wakes up is this jacked bunny, like with big, thick legs. And, it's fast. And Hajime's like, God, Hajime made a comment saying how that rabbit is like as strong or not stronger than the behemoth. And it's just a mob, like like a slime that you will regularly find, like a random, like when you're in an MMO, when you're just finding a random monster, it's like one of those, and it has the strength of the behemoth. And I'm trying to see if I can find. I think there's an illustration of the rabbit. This is Hajime falling, and illustrations goes to Takeaki, great artist. Oh, and the story's by Rio, if you didn't know. But so Hajime falls. He finds the rabbit, and the rabbit's strong. Well, before Hajime could get killed by the rabbit. There's no illustration of the rabbit. But I do know where I could get the illustration of the rabbit. I'll be back. The manga. The manga's really good, by the way. And for the manga, credit to Roga, and original design by Takayaki, whatever. I want to say his name right, but I'm bad at pronouncing stuff. But if you haven't read the manga, I suggest reading the manga. It's like all the characters look amazing. Okay, so this is how the rabbit looks in the manga. Let me get the page because I accidentally skipped it. This is how the rabbit looks in the manga. So yeah, Hajime is fighting that, and it's as strong as the behemoth. That's what he says. I don't know if it's actually been confirmed or denied. But this bear comes in, and the bear kills the rabbit and eats it. Well, what Hajime didn't know, or he found out later, is that the bear also got Hajime's arm. And Hajime, to escape the bear, he dug a hole for himself where he would then like where he then finds like this, I don't want to say potion. It's like a potion though. It's a liquid that kind of like heals him. It regenerates, not regenerate. It doesn't regenerate him, but it heals him. Like, it stops the bleeding and closes the wound, but it doesn't take away the phantom pain, and it doesn't prevent him from not feeling hungry. It won't kill, like, the hunger and thirst won't kill him. I don't think thirst can kill him because he's technically drinking that. I'm gonna call it potion, just for the sake of it, because he's drinking the potion. I don't think he technically is thirsty, but he's not eating. And what they don't tell you in the anime, and I don't think they even tell you in the manga, they might, and I just haven't read it in a while. But Hajime doesn't even know how long he's been in that hole. He doesn't know if it's been, a week, a month, 3 months. He doesn't know how long it's been. But he does know he's been there for a long time. So it's not like he was just in that hole for a day. He's been in there for a while. But he just doesn't know, like, because he's been in there so long, he lost his sense of time. So I think he said he feels like he's been there for a week, but he doesn't even know. So, like, he doesn't know if it actually been a week or if it's been a day, because he keeps passing out and coming to from the pain. Like, he passes out because of the pain, and then he wakes up because of the pain. So it's like an endless cycle where he's going through pain constantly, and this is breaking his mind. That's why if you were wondering in the anime, well, how come Hajime like was so quick to like become like a murderer or something, right? Like, where he said, if anyone gets in my way, I'll kill them. It's not just because he got his arm eaten or anything like that. He got his arm eaten. He fell down into the abyss. The person who said they'll protect him never came, because again, he's like, in his head, he's thinking, if I just wait here, the hero and all of them will come and they'll rescue me. They'll come and rescue me. Day. He's still there. He's suffering. He's waking up. He's passing out, waking up, passing out from the phantom pain. Like, he's just being tortured. And he feels like he's being tortured because of that bear. Like, that bear is out there. He can't do anything because of the bear. And then he starts, he gets to a breaking point where he says, screw it. I just want to go home. I'm going to see if I can find it. I don't think he says it in the light novel. Oh, yeah, he does. And then the manga, I mean. Yeah, I'll read this page. I won't show it, but I'll read it. It feels like nothing's happened for years. Why not just give up? Why not just give up the ghost? I feel like I'm leaving a whole bunch of stuff out of context. I'm too weak to carry on living. No. The truth is, I don't really want to die. But why not? Why should I want to live? Despite all the crap I've gone through, I just want to go home. That's the ending right there. But I'll read the second page. Yeah, I want to go home to my old world. To hell with this creepy god and his stupid mission. My classmates. The smile of the girl who said she'll protect me. They aren't worth a damn now. I'm going to get home alive. Anyone who gets in my way from that goal is my enemy. And enemies... And then I'll turn the page. Did I skip a page? I feel like I skipped a page. But if not, he's just basically saying, and enemies will basically die. I don't think I skipped the page. I just think, and you can see Hajime in that state right there. And so that's like the things about his suffering. That's how he's been suffering. So what Hajime does is, he's like, all right, well, since he has nothing but time in his hands now, he's gonna practice his transmutation skills. I think that's what he call it. So he starts like making pits, making weapons and all this stuff. And he makes like a trap for a wolf. You've seen this in the anime where he traps a wolf and kills it. And the page I showed you where he's all black, it's just him stabbing the wolf to death. It's not him turning demon or something. It's just him like where he caught a wolf and he's like, does that hurt? Good. This is him talking to the wolf. I'll read it from the page. You'll be tough to polish. I'm just starting out from where the page starts. So some context. All right, I'll just read it from the whole page. Gotcha. Finally. Lucky you. Number 1. My first ever kill. He's talking to the wolf. You'll be tough to polish off, huh? Fine by me. I'll keep stabbing you till you croak. Does that hurt? Good. This is survival hunting. Give Given the chance, you'd wolf meat down, right? Tables have turned. And then that's when he's doing this. He's just stabbing. And then he starts eating it, and he's just talking about how it's disgusting, but he has to eat it because, he's hungry. And this scene alone is why I recommend reading the manga. This is Hajime transforming into when he gets his white hair. This is where he transforms because of the mana. That all monsters have mana, and mana is poison to humans if they consume it. So that's what was happening to Hajime, and so this is why I recommend the manga. Just the art that goes into that's awesome. So I just showed you. I could pause it and look at that. I don't want to keep it too long because I want y'all to check out the manga and buy it. Of course, support Rio, support Roga and Takoyaki. But yeah, that's Hajime transforming, and then this is how he looks in the manga. Slightly different from the. I mean, you can kind of see it. He's different from in the. He looks slightly different in the manga than in the anime. But anyways, so yeah, Hajime ate the wolf, got stronger, and then he went out. He made a. Well, he didn't go out. He's still inside the hole. While eating wolves, he starts cooking the wolves. He starts killing, and I don't think it shows in the anime, but he also kills the rabbits, eats them, cooks them, because Hajime gets when he. Oh, I forgot to say this. The reason why Hajime lived, because like I said, the mana poisons the wolves. The mana poisons humans, not the wolves. And if a human eats an animal with the mana crystal or the crystals, whatever, they'll get poisoned. The reason why Hajime didn't die is because, again, of that liquid that he was using, the potion. So what happened was Hajime his body was breaking down and rebuilding itself because of the potion. So it was, again, an endless cycle of his body being torn apart, repairing itself just to be torn again, to repair itself, and it's just a repeated cycle until his body adapted into what he is. What he will even call himself a monster. That's what Hajime calls himself. He calls himself a monster. So that's what that's how Hajime lived. Because again, I'm pretty sure it wasn't explained that well in the anime. So every time Hajime eats a monster, not only does his stats go up, he also gets some abilities from that monster. So from the wolf that he ate, he got an ability called Lightning Field, where he could basically anything he touches, he could like fry. Like kind of give it like an electric charge, I guess you could say. That's when Hajime got the idea to make a gun, and if he uses lightning field in combination with the gun, he could basically turn a simple revolver, which is what he makes, into like a rail gun, as powerful as a rail gun, an anti-tank round. He says a whole bunch of stuff. He says like this is just as powerful as an anti-tank round rifle, so whatever he says, something like that. And my question is, how do you even know if it is Hajime if you never fired one? You live in Japan. I highly doubt you shot an anti-tank rifle to know how strong it is, to know that your gun's just as strong, if not stronger than that. And then he calls it a rail gun, like probably this basically classified as a rail gun. Anyways, I'm probably gonna make a part 2 of this because I am running out of time, because I am talking about. I went on a longer banter than I thought. But so I'll wrap it up with doing this. So again, Hajime, he thinks it's easier going down than going up. If he goes down, he feels like he'll probably find either the end or a teleport crystal that will take him back up. So what Hajime does is after he gets revenge and kills the bear and eats it, he decides to descend the staircase. He finds the staircase and decides to go down because I think that's why he didn't go up either. He couldn't find the staircase going up, but he found one going down, so he decided to go down. I think that's why he went down. But and he killed anything in his way and ate it, and he got powers. He got stronger and he got different powers. He's immune to purification because he ate this lizard that had the ability to purify people. he ate this animal. I can't name them all, and I forget exactly what he fought. But he ate something that will give him like intimidation. So whenever he's talking and gives that skill, will kind of give like that like that instinct, like I'm gonna die, right? It's a skill that he has, intimidation, hide presence, sense presence. I think he also has night vision and some other stuff. He gets like a lot of powers from eating monsters, and then he gets to the part where you've seen this in the anime. He gets to the part where he finds like these two cyclopses, and I'm just playing with the coins. They're not really for anything, just to kind of mess with me. Not just kind of like keep my mind focused, I guess. Anyways, so he finds the two cyclops, kills them, eats them, and he gets I think an ability called Diamond Skin, where he kind of like hardens his skin, so like a regular blade can't pierce it or something like that. But when he opens that, he finds Yue, your waifu or whatever you want to call it, a main waifu, because there's a bunch of waifus in here. Well, no, I don't want to say a bunch, but there's a good bit. But the first girl, technically she's the first girl, but he forgot about her. He didn't forget. He said screw her, right? Because I talked about it earlier. But anyway, he doesn't care about her right now. He finds her. And what's funny is in the light novel, when Hajime walked in and he saw that girl and she said, help me, he's like, nope, turned around and started leaving away. And not leaving away. He started walking away. And she's like, why? And he's like, because, like, there's a reason why you're down here. They wouldn't just have you down here for nothing, You're probably like the secret demon lord or something. I'll release you and you'll destroy the world and all this other stuff. Like, to Hajime, it was like a cliche encounter. I don't know if he said those exact words, but that's what was basically what he was saying. Like, there's a cliche encounter, like there's a reason you're down here. There's why they locked you up. You're not just some innocent girl who needs to be saved. And then when she said that she was there because she was betrayed by people who she trusted, that's when Hajime kind of he's like and decides to help her, I guess because he was also betrayed. And so they go through the labyrinth, they go deeper, they fight the T-Rexes with the flowers. They fight that one flower monster girl that Hajime killed when Yue said, it's okay, don't worry about me, just shoot it. And he's like, really, it's that easy? Bam, and shoots her. she was like, more like, you actually shot. Like, yeah, you told me to. So it's like a funny scene. But so this is where I'm gonna end it. Not right here, but the next part. They complete Oscar's Labyrinth. I think that was the name of the Liberator, Oscar's Labyrinth. If it's not Oscar, it's something close to Oscar. But so again, the one reason why I like Arifureta, part one. This is part one. I didn't know it was gonna be part one. Hajime earns his stuff. He didn't just get it because he's the main character. I mean, yeah, technically you could say, well, he fell down and he didn't die because he's the main character. I mean, you got to have some cliche here and there. But the thing is, Hajime suffered for his powers. It's the bottom line where I'm getting at. So yeah. So again, things I compare it to, Sword Art Online, Kirito, his position could have been literally taken by anybody, but it's because he's the main character. Everyone falls in love with him, and I'm not faulting Sword Art Online. Every artist, every storyteller, every game programmer, they have their own stories they want to tell. And us as humans, I read somewhere that that humans have three great urges: to eat, to breed, and I don't know if. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff missing. To eat, to breed, and to rewrite someone else's work. That is what I've heard, and I forgot where I heard it. But the urge to eat, the urge to breed, and the urge to rewrite someone else's work. So again, I'm not here dunking on Sword Art Online, calling it trash or whatever. It's just personally not my taste. I have different tastes, and maybe my tastes are garbage, and that's fine. But that's not the argument I'm having here. But like Sword Art Online. Kirito, his thing, I feel like he just does it because he's the main character. He beta tested it, and so now he knows everything, and all these other people who beta tested it, they don't know anything, and they're just dying. And then he's just getting all the girls, saves them one time, and they're like, oh, here's my panties. And and another one, because I don't want to just talk about it sort of online. Um, Infinite Stratos. I think towards the beginning, at least. I never read the light novel, if it does have a light novel, but in the anime, like I could feel like a girl could have there with it's a guy in an all girl school. If you don't know Infinite Stratos, it's a guy in an all girl school because he could program or he could pilot a robot that only girls could pilot. So he goes to an all girl school, and the ladies just throw themselves onto him, and he's just like, huh, I wonder what she's trying to mean by this. Now, like I make the joke like a girl could be like laying on his bed with her all clothes off, legs open, and with an arrow, or like literal writing on the wall saying, "Do me," and he'll be like, "Are you sick or something? Why are you naked? Are you hot? You need a blanket?" But I think I read somewhere that in the light novel, again, I don't know if it does have a light novel or if it's the manga, but someone said that he does know the girls like him, but he doesn't want to pursue it. And if that is true, I then I'll kind of cut it some slack because I always talked about this. If you are in a harem anime, or if you write a harem anime or manga or light novel, whatever, I hate it when you make the main character dumb. If you don't want him to have relationships with female characters, write it for give him a reason. It could be a stupid reason. I don't believe in relationships before marriage. That's fine. Just tell me. Don't make them dumb. I hated that trope ever since it was a thing. I just hated it. I'll still watch it because if it's comedy, I'm mainly in there for the comedy. But like when I really get down to it, just give him a reason. It could be a lame reason. I just don't like girls. I just don't feel like I'm ready. I'm not in the mood. Just give him a reason. But that's me. But this is where I'm gonna end it. And they do the deed. Hajime and Yue, they cross that line. At the end of volume 1, they don't talk about it because it's not an R18 light novel, but they talk about that they did do it. They crossed that line. Anyways, I'm running out of time, so I'll end it here. Peace, and I love you.